Hello, everybody. Today we are welcoming you to a week that's going to be very interesting. This week we are going to be talking about envy. Envy is, unfortunately, is one of a negative trait that we find in everybody. As long as you are carnal, as long as you live in the body, you have some negative things that we all have to fight against. And one of these negative qualities and traits of character is envy. And well, while I was growing up, I thought, what is envy? I never really came across it. But that was just for a while until I became successful. You see, when you become successful, you come to the limelight and you come to get to know what is envy very fast. When because of the limelight of our ministry and the success and everything, I became acquainted with envy in a big way. And it's normal. It's normal for you when you are successful to be envied by people who think they're better than you and they don't have the same results as you do. But the most important thing for us is that we don't fall into that trap of envying and living in envy against other people, because envy destroys. You see, one of the way envy works is that it's totally the direct opposite of love. Love works like a telescope. A telescope is what makes something, not reduces something inside. For example, if a loving person sees your weaknesses, it doesn't magnify it. It reduces the weaknesses and magnifies the major good qualities that you have. That's what a telescope is. A telescope reduces the size of your failures, of your insufficiency. It doesn't make a big noise out of your inadequacies. But envy, just the direct opposite. Envy, it works like a telescope. I mean, like a microscope. A microscope is what magnifies and increases the little things that are maybe not so good in your life, the failures of your life. What microscope does is that it increases it and makes it magnified to the world and blows your weaknesses and your failures to the rest of the world, because that is what envy is. Envy wants to kill you, wants to destroy you, and it's a terrible experience. So let's be mindful about and wash after our hearts and run away from envy. God bless. Hello, everybody. We continue our messages this week on envy. And yesterday I spoke about the fact that envy works just the opposite way that love works. Love magnifies the dignity of other people, while envy tries to diminish the dignity of another person. But then envy is a dangerous thing for any believer, for any person whatsoever. As a matter of fact, the person that envies suffers more than the person he envies. So if we have any form of envy in us, it's going to destroy us. So the major thing for us as a person, as an individual, is that we wash and look after our own hearts, that we don't have any trace or any traits of envy whatsoever. It's something that we must fight and cleanse our heart from, to make sure that we are happy for other people. And one of the reasons why envy is undesirable and dangerous to the person that envies is that envy doesn't enrich. Envy does not enrich anybody. Envy will suffocate you. Envy will cause dryness to come to your bones. Envy, it stripes you, it saps you of your energy. Envy saps you of your power. It saps you of your joy. Envy, when somebody begins to envy, it loses its joy. As soon as you allow envy to come to your heart, joy flies out of your life, because you cannot see anything good in any other person. You begin to notice and see only the things that are not the way you expected them to be. Even the good things that you have, the blessings that God has given to your life, you just stop noticing them because you are not happy about what is happening in the life of other people. Joy disappears, happiness disappears, pleasure disappears, and you just become miserable. And that it is one of the reasons for for depression. Many people are in depression because of envy. So let's run away from envy. Blessings. Good day, everybody. We continue our word today on envy, and we spoke yesterday that envy is what envy leads to depression and to other consequences that are actually too expensive for us to bear, too much for a person to cope with. You see, envy always works in two ways. One of the ways that envy works is that it targets other people. When you are envious of, you are always envious of other people. Definitely, you never envy of yourself. You never, nobody is envious of himself. You are only, you are only proud of yourself. Most people are always proud of themselves, and we rejoice and we brag about ourselves. But when we see the success of other people and the achievements of other people, especially when that other person is always talking about his own successes and achievements, and when things are working out for him and not so well for us, and you feel that thing like a pain, that inconvenience, that some kind of no, the feeling that you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about the victory of that other person, or you don't want to listen to it so much. Well, that is an indication that there is an envy there, because envy is always targeting another person. And the second aspect of envy is that when you target another person, you wound yourself. You see, envy is like shooting at another person. You decide to fire a gun, you shoot at another person, at somebody, but in the real sense, you get the wounds of your shooting. You shoot somebody, but it lands on you. Whenever anybody envies another person, you target them, but you actually sustain the injury, because the person you are envying, he doesn't really know that you are envying him most of the time. He's not even aware of it. He keeps on enjoying his life and what God is doing with him. But you feel the pain. You feel the pain because you feel the depression, the lack of joy, the fact that he's doing well and it's not working out for you. So envy kills the envier, not the person who is envying. Let's run away from envy so that we don't keep on shooting ourselves. Blessings. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to continue today with you on the message of this week. We're talking about envy. You see, envy works like cancer, and cancer is a dangerous thing. Sometimes people have cancer, and you cannot even tell, because they dress well, they're in suits or in their costumes, or they're in tie and shirts, and nice, looking nice. But some of the ladies, maybe they're in good cosmetics and good hair dress or hairstyle, and but you don't really know what is going on inside the person. But that inside, something is eating that person up. That's the way cancer works. Cancer is a silent destroyer. Well, just like cancer is a silent destroyer, so also in the same fashion is envy. Envy destroys the envier. Envy destroys somebody silently from inside. We are lucky these days that while we're on earth, you cannot really read the thoughts and the mind of other person. You don't really know what other people are thinking in their mind and things like that. But in the real sense, when we get to heaven, we are going to be able to see through individual thoughts. We are going to be able to read the mind and the thoughts of each other. So, but while we are on the earth, people hide behind the fact that nobody knows what I'm thinking and nobody can read my thoughts, and so we pretend as if we are okay from outside, but really inside we are suffering from envy. So, but envy works like a cancer. It eats you up from inside. It's not eating up the person you are envying, but it eats you up. It destroys your person. It destroys all the qualities of life that you have in you. It destroys all the qualities of a human being that you have in you. You lose your health, spiritual health, and you lose your person just because of envy. So don't fall a victim of cancer through envy. God bless. Hello, everybody. We welcome you to another day of of the week when we're talking about envy. And today we're talking about the fact that envy has some children. Envy has some breeds, some seeds that come out of envy, the breeds of envy. The things that are related with envy, that sometimes we see the fruits of envy, we see the breeds of envy, but we don't normally know what that is. But we don't want to, or we don't want to call it by its name. We don't want to call it envy. But whenever you see people taking pleasure in gossiping about other people and telling stories, especially negative stories about other people, that shows you there is envy there. So let's try our best to avoid negative backbiting and spreading bad rumors about other people, because the thing that is really behind backbiting and gossiping is envy. But apart from backbiting and gossip, envy also breeds hatred. Sometimes when when other people are really successful, things are working out for them, and you don't check that envy in you, you don't stop that envy, it could lead to you actually hating another person. And hatred will lead you to some more serious things, more serious consequences. Because from hatred, envy will lead you to revenge. And even if the person doesn't hurt you or he has not offended you in any form, you feel like getting at the person. You feel like getting even at the person and trying to revenge or avenge for what you think the person has and you don't have, and trying to to just get even at the person, even if the person has not done anything wrong. But you keep on saying whatever the person has done wrong. But that is even not the worst. Envy gets worse, and envy gives birth to, apart from hatred and gossip, or revenge, it goes to giving birth to death. And most people, if you go to a prison, and if you, sometimes I had the opportunity to minister in the prison, you will be surprised at how many people are in prison because of envy. Envy led them to killing their spouses or their wives or their husbands or their relatives or their lovers or their boyfriends, girlfriends. Even death comes out of envy. So, that's one of the reasons why we must run away from envy, because it could make you a murderer. Well, God bless. Hello, everybody. We continue to speak on the subject of envy as we've started all this week. And I want to talk today about how to recognize if envy is coming to my heart, or if I am susceptible to envy. If envy is, if I am walking in envy and I don't even know it. I wonder that some people who have been listening to us this week might be thinking, maybe I have it, maybe I don't have it, but I think I don't have it. But you see, there is a breeding ground for envy, and the envy comes up in the life of a person, especially when you stop being grateful for what you've got. Envy starts at the point when you stop noticing all the blessings that you have, when you stop thanking God for what you have. Then what happens is you begin to notice what other people have that you don't have. Even if you have something better, envy makes things so funny that you stop noticing what you have, and you begin to notice what other people have, even if what you have is better. So lack of gratitude and lack of gratefulness, it might give birth to envy. Envy actually comes out normally out of lack of gratitude. And if you are not grateful to God for what you've got, and if you pay too much attention to what you don't have, then just be ready, because envy is knocking at your door, and envy is about to consume you. Stop paying attention to what you don't have. You pay more attention and be grateful, be thankful to God for what you've got. You have enough already to thank God for. Let's begin to thank God for what we've got, rather than noticing or paying too much attention to what we don't have. So you have enough to thank God for it. As soon as you stop thanking God for what you've got, and you begin to notice and complain about what you don't have, envy is about to kill you. Well, God bless. See you tomorrow. Today is the final day that we're talking about envy, I'm sure you must have watched the program, the previous days of this program, and that I hope that by the grace of God, you've been helped. And today I just want to finalize the message on envy by saying one of the root cause of envy is the inability of a person to be content with what he's got, with what he has. If you are not satisfied, if you are not content with the little you have, you would probably envy. Discontentment will always lead to envy. You see, every one of us has got something that we should thank God for. We've got enough for which we should be grateful to God. We've got enough for which we should actually be busy praising God. And we've got enough to get us all busy fulfilling our purpose and destiny. But as soon as we begin to notice that, or complain that, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, that dissatisfaction itself, that discontentment in itself will lead us to notice that other people have got what we have and what we don't have. And that, that unhealthy appreciation of other people's blessing would definitely lead to envy on our side, because we would begin to desire what belongs to other people. So the key and the healing to envy is contentment. Like the Bible says in the book of Timothy, that godliness and contentment, that is what could deliver us from the love of money. Godliness and contentment. And that's the same cure for envy. If we've learned to be content with what we've got, and to be godly with what we've got, we will never suffer from envy. So for us to not to suffer from envy and to be happy with our lives on a daily basis, we've got to be content. Learn to thank God for the little you've got, and not to pay attention to what other people have and that you like. Thank God for them. Thank God for God that has given them something and has given you something as well. That contentment and godliness will save you from all the evil consequences of envy. God bless.